Are you a stay-at-home mom and ready to make some real money? Check out this video right now and I'll show you the best remote job for stay-at-home moms. Hey, welcome to the Millionaire Recruiter. I'm Brianna Rooney, your Millionaire Recruiter. If you've not seen this channel before, it's all about upping your game in the recruiting industry. So, stay-at-home moms, first of all, I salute you. That is the hardest damn job ever, and I've never had to do it. Thank God. No, but seriously, obviously, when the kids were very, very, very little, I stayed home, and it's hard. It's a lot easier to go into the office and to go to work and be like, bye. So seriously, I do salute you. And what's great is that the recruiting industry is really perfect for stay-at-home moms. Do you still have to juggle? Yes, of course. But the best job is going to be a sourcer. So a sourcer, and I'm talking true sourcer here. So let me take a little step back. There's tons of different jobs in the recruiting industry, especially right now. There are a lot of siloed positions happening. So before it was just really recruiter. We were like full cycle, right? That's what I'm used to. But now companies are splitting up roles. So there's a recruiting coordinator, there's a sourcer, and there's a recruiter. So the recruiting coordinator is naturally just the scheduler. I don't advise that for stay-at-home moms because that's a position that it's like you need to be on at all given moments. You can't take breaks. Then there's the recruiter on the other side who is more responsible for the candidate experience, takes them all the way through, is talking with the recruiting coordinator a lot, talking to the hiring managers, and then they're also making the close, getting approvals. There's a little bit of some red tape going on. Then there's this beautiful little thing in the middle that I call sourcer. Not that I call, the industry calls sourcer. And this is such a great role for someone that's staying home with the kids because you can do it when it suits you. Nothing suits you like a suit. Sorry, tangents. I love how I met your mother. So when you're sourcing it, like you want to have different, like 30 minutes here, 30 minutes there. I feel like that's the most amount of time to focus, right? Is those 30 minutes. And so let's just say, hey, all right, great. Kids, you're going to play over here for a little bit. I'm going to go source for 30 minutes. Now those 30 minutes will very quickly turn into 60. And the reason being is because hopefully people are going to get back to you in that time and you're just going to pick up the phone and do a quick, call with them. Or maybe you found that really honey hole for you, which is a sourcer that actually doesn't even do the initial screen. So you have to definitely check with the companies because there's a sourcer that's literally just building top of funnel. They're getting people interested. They're putting the resumes into the applicant tracking system or sending them to the recruiter, normally into the applicant tracking system, and you're just getting them interested, and then you're setting them up to speak with the recruiter. That's definitely ideal for stay-at-home moms, right? Because you're not having to get on the phone with people. But there is that other sourcing position, which I know a lot of my talent partners do here at Talent Perch, is they find the person, they get the initial intake, the recruiter screen, which is essentially like all the information about the candidate, why they're interested, and then they ship that off into the applicant tracking system, and they're done. The recruiter handles the rest. So there are two different slight variants that you can do as a sourcer, but either way, I do think that that is a perfect role for stay-at-home moms. Not to mention that, or stay-at-home parents, let's just say that, right? But not to mention that when you're sourcing, again, you're doing it in 30-minute like sprints. I would probably do it 3 times a day if you can. So that's a total of really only an hour and a half. In between those time, you should be getting people that are interested. Now, the only caveat is, of course, you want to strike when the iron's hot. When someone gets back to you, you definitely want to then get back to them very quickly. That doesn't always happen, and that's okay. And that's something that I just want to make sure that you guys know is okay. Will it require you to do maybe a little more follow-up? Maybe. Well, maybe sometimes you get ghosted by candidates, maybe, but you could even be a full-time, sit in front of your computer and people ghost you. So I wouldn't look too far into that, and I would definitely make sure that you're still very present in the other life you are, leading at home. That's great, but that's what I'm saying. You can turn on and off as a sourcer, and candidates aren't going to feel the pain. Whereas from the recruiting coordinator standpoint and the recruiter standpoint, candidate experience might drop. Hiring manager experience might drop. But with a sourcer, again, you can be very, very, very efficient. Definitely make sure that you are trained to do this, though. I will say, I have had a couple people who are like, hey, I'm just going to become a sorcerer. I'm going to get these like freelance gigs and da-da-da. And I'm like, wait, are you trying to do this? And they're like, no, but I can just figure it out. Like I think it's an easy job. Dinner. It's not an easy job. It is not an easy job. So that is what I really want people to say. You need to be trained to do this. There are all sorts of sourcing tricks. You can't just go off job description. There's so much. This is a beast of a job. And is the actual duties that you do every single day somewhat simple? Yeah, in theory. But there's a whole science to this, which means you definitely need to be trained. So at the very least, definitely I have this whole boot camp that's set up to train you very quickly. But I also have a very thorough one that is 6 weeks instructor guided that can really make, hit it very quickly. Or you can even have a one-on-one sourcing training with the team. I actually wasn't making this video just to put all that out there, but I was just thinking of my friend who thought this job was easy, and I went on a tangent. But anyways, this is great for you all as long as you do have to be trained. Do not think that this is an easy job. And also, like I said, stay-at-home moms, stay-at-home parents, that is not an easy job. Now, maybe in comparison, a sorcerer job is easier than a stay-at-home parent. That's the easier part. But it's still something where you have to move quickly, you have to be efficient, you have to be organized, and you have to keep notes. And you also have to hold yourself accountable to hitting your numbers. But let's go back to numbers. So normal KPIs, again, at the end of the day, it's a numbers game, sorry. But you have to reach out to at least 150 people a week as a sorcerer for sure. So if you're doing that, if you can do that by Monday, Tuesday, honestly, you might even be able to do it by Monday. If you want to just block off your time correctly, it would be a great thing to do. So now you're just kind of handling almost administration work for the rest of the week, or you're going to be the best sorcerer in the world and you're going to keep, putting some messages forth. But it's not very time consuming, and the company can really get a huge return on their investment, the ROI, from you as a sorcerer if you just put your head down and get those numbers out for them, and can still do a great job with very minimal back and forth with candidates, which means you can still pay attention and have a great time as a stay-at-home mom and parent. So enjoy. In my opinion, that is by far the best remote job. Thank you also for watching. I'm a sorcerer at heart, and that's why I always support sorcerers. And for sure, moms, parents, it's a hard job. So have this great money, have this great salary, see some dreams come true. You can really start making some 6 figures really quickly and enjoy, and you can, help me change this industry, right, for the better. I will see you every Thursday at noon, and do not forget that money is just a vessel to do all the amazing things you want to go do in life. Go live it. See you next week.